Hey guys, Jeff Wybo here and my dog Harley, and we're just taking a walk and we're contemplating, wondering about problem tenants. Have you ever had any of these? We're gonna hear from Mike about really problematic tenants. They slashed his tires. They got his address off of one of his other businesses and went to his personal family residence and slashed his tires. Hopefully it wasn't his very awesome Audi, but this is one of the crazy things that can happen that you hear all the horror stories. So at the end of the video, let me know down in the comment section what's the craziest tenant story that's ever happened to you. And let's hear from Mike right now.
All right, so this is a 36 unit building. This is a great location because as we walk over here, if there's any tenants you don't like, you can just throw them off. You can just bring them over here and give them a nice push.
No one will find the bodies.
And nobody will find the body. So this is a great selling feature.
Yeah.
People come here, they obviously want to rent, they understand that they can have peace and quiet, they can sit here. And this is a great piece of property in terms of seeing downtown. Once these trees are all grown out, you can't really see much, but right now in the edge of winter, at the edge of the beginning of spring, you can see all this, and it's a beautiful space. So it's 36 unit buildings. When we go on the outside, I can show you.
Was there any insurance issues with the Thames River being raised?
No, I have blockers down here, so that kind of helps to make sure that people don't die. There's a story of some guy about 25 years ago, some guy tried to push him down. And you hear all the stories in the world, but at the moment we're all good. One of the concerns I do have for sure is this garage that's building. It's kind of at the edge of the slope there, so that one day might sag a bit, but it's been fine thus far. And we just build it up, just try to put some sort of... So you got 4 garages over there.
So they pay extra.
24 parking spots plus 4 extra in front of the garage, and then 4 garages. I don't rent the garage out to anybody. I just keep it for my own stuff. So I have I have everything I need for the buildings, and I have easy access to do. So this sort of ties with the other businesses I have. Because I have the roofing company, I put a lot of quick stuff I need for roofing. I actually put it all in the garages because it's an easy location. I drive in, pull out what I want, drive away, and it's all right by downtown. So this is sort of, using some
of your shop, right?
Yeah. Well, we do have a shop. We can check that out later. But the other thing I also do is also important to know. So for me, because I have roofing, most of all my buildings all have roofing signs on them. So what does that do? That puts an image out, right? That I have obviously a lot of business. So if at one point I had, let's say 20 buildings or 20 properties, I just put signs everywhere. So now I have 20 times the exposure just from that sign. Check it out right there.
If you need a roofer, guys, Old South Roofing.
I'm just gonna grab the keys.
So it's been a pretty fascinating day listening to Mike going over his properties. It makes me think, what the heck am I doing? Mike's got these at his age. He's got 3 years on me. Got to get to this level. Everybody's got their own way of doing things, but I like this. This is pretty nice and clean, nice and easy. Rents come in. Mike's got his strategies. He's got this guy's got his Audi business. He's a realtor. He's a landlord. He's got his roofing business. What else did he say? He's selling air conditioners, like jack of all trades. Traveled the world, and here he comes again. And we're Belgian buddies too.
Oh yeah,
right?
exactly.
So we got the World
Antwerp,
Cup
baby, Antwerp.
Yeah.
You want to walk in the front of the building, just take some, just get an idea of street presence, because also street presence is important when a tenant pulls up to see kind of how the building looks, right? So we've got these
curb appeal.
Curb appeal. Oh yeah, exactly. So these 2 buildings were built in 1942, and the back building was built in 1948. So just
Did you say what year you got this?
I got this 4 years ago. Let's get in there. Check out the common. You good? Yeah. Tenants don't want to be seen, but
No. Sometimes landlords don't want to be seen.
yes. And that's, what, I'll talk about it maybe at another day, but I'll talk about, there's also some people that feel that you can't show you're doing well as a landlord. Because here's a really good question. How many landlords have you seen that have a lot of units that actually dress well, show well, and act they're successful? They're not.
John Kepler out of Owen Sound. He's always in a suit.
Is he?
He'll be at OREC.
Oh, good for him. Because most guys I see, they're always wearing scrubs, picking up,
because they want to kind of show like, oh, I'm struggling too, I need my rent,
Correct.
right? So
Correct.
it's interesting. Maybe let us know in the comment section like
Yeah.
what you guys think, right?
Yeah. Is it important? Is it like my cousin used to always give me grief for this
But
because I don't
you're
show
young.
a nice car.
These guys are gonna be like, this guy's young.
Yeah.
Did you roll in this?
Yeah, and that is sometimes the problem, right? Sometimes it is a problem. Sometimes it's great for young guys because they all want to feel it
Because
out.
that image of a landlord when you're
Yeah.
younger is
Yeah.
like some old guy who's just, you
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
like my grandpa, my
For sure.
Italian grandpa, right?
For sure,
Like,
for
so-
sure. Yeah, and I mean, as I said, I bought this at 32, right? About
Right.
4 years ago. So, yeah, at the time, obviously, like it was a lot for me. It was a lot. You know, it's like it's. I never ever thought I'd get approved. I just didn't. It doesn't matter how much money I made.
Yeah.
I would just think that, you know, this is just, it's too much, too big. Only the big boys would buy stuff like this. And I mean, and then now I look at bigger stuff and I'm like, oh, I mean, big boys were small boys at one point anyways, right? So that's kind of the thing. But this is the sort of the common area. So here's the funny thing, the fire department doesn't want any of this stuff here. I can't have, this stuff I can't have here because the fire department. I can't have garbage here because the fire department. They don't want me to have any of this stuff here. So, because it could cause a fire. So every night I have my super that lives here. She comes, she cleans that out, she gets rid of the bin. And the day we put it there, and the night we get rid of it. Yeah, because craziness happens at night.
So you have a supervisor.
Yes, yes.
And you
So-
give her subsidized rent?
Subsidized rent, yeah.
Okay.
I subsidize. So I need somebody on site all the time. I don't want to, like I said before, I don't want to be disturbed at home.
Right.
When I'm home, I want to be home, right? Just like you know, when you go home, you don't want to call, my toilet's leaking, you know? So I had a really bad tenant in this building a couple years ago, which really affected my life. She really affected my life. She came to my house, she slashed all our car's tires. She was very difficult, very difficult. All because she was on the offense all the time to not pay rent. It's a really funny story, and that I can go into really deep because there's lots of layers there.
I just want to say, like, does anybody, you know, you have problem tenants, have they come to your house and slash your tires? Like,
Yes,
that's insane.
That is insane. So, and I mean, and the problem with having all these businesses as well is that she knew, the only reason she found out where I lived is because she knew I owned a roofing company. She Googled the roofing company pretty deeply and found out because my home address was on my roofing company. That's a problem. So I've learned, right? I've learned, not that I'm hiding anything. It's just that, you know what, for her, she didn't want to pay rent. She was a professional renter. She moved in here. She duped me after having lots of rentals. She duped me. She had on her thing was, two of her things came out perfectly. I called them up. It was all good. She moved in here. Awesome. Helped with garbage and all that stuff. A month later, you know, I got the best of her, whatever she was doing. And yeah, it took me about 5.5 months to get her out. And in 5 months, I didn't come to the building at all. I just sent everybody.
Because it affected you, like,
mentally, yeah,
mentally,
for sure,
psychologically,
for sure.
and
For sure, man. Dude, think about your safety. When somebody comes to your house and slashes,
you have a family, and
100%, man. You know, she's loopy enough to come and steal my kid. I don't know how crazy she is, you know? And that's sometimes the problem with actually getting somewhere in life. You have more to lose. That's the problem, right? Like, if somebody can take something away from you, that's very important. That's a dangerous game, right? So as much as you want to be successful, there's also that side of it, right? So how good is a concrete house versus not a concrete house, right? So those are two aspects to think about. But at the end of the day, we're still human. I still pay a lot of tax. I still have to do all this stuff. I still do all the bullshit. I still do lots of stuff. And that's one of those things. Do you want to be a landlord or do you want to be a tenant? Do you want to be an owner or do you want to be a renter, right? So those are all the pros and cons. But anyways, let's go through the building.
Sure.
So this whole building has, what's the word I'm looking for? Floors? What are these floors? No, they're called, oh my god, brain fart. These floors, like the type of floors these are called, they'll come to me eventually. But the way this building is really set up is great because there's only 6 stairs or 7 stairs up and 7 stairs down. There's not a long stairway, so there's your semi-basement. Terrazzo floors. Terrazzo floors. Terrazzo floors. These floors are terrazzo floors. So these two buildings are one separated by those doors. So that's one section of the building, and then that's the back section of the building. So you can see it from here to there. It's laid out very well.
Yeah, like,
I know why all these.
I've never seen a building like this in London. Like,
No.
it feels like it's a hospital almost.
Yeah.
Like,
This was built in my mind. Was built for nurses.
yeah.
It was built as a nursing because if you look at every apartment, and I'm going to show you one. Hopefully we can get into one. But it's each apartment has both windows. It has a side and it has a front or a back. So that you always have an L shaped of windows. Every single unit. So it's not like only the corners have it. Every single unit. So there's 3 individual buildings that all go like this, and everybody has a decent space. So if you look at this side, for example. roof needs to be done, and this glass has got to be cleaned, but you can see how every window, everybody's window is looking in and out, right? So, yeah, it's all boiler here. And yeah, so they're all kind of like this, and they all have good height. Like, look at the height. Yeah. And they all have great, like, the unit I'm going to show you now is a basement apartment, so the flooring isn't that great. All right, so we're going to go into a unit that's not renovated. The only thing I did here was I just replaced the floors. Everything other than that is all original. So in amazing fashion, he was supposed to move out as of yesterday, but he's not out. Of course not. They're not out. So here's a typical layout of the size of these apartments. So pretty big living room, very small kitchens, and medium-sized bedrooms. So they're all kind of like this, same size. As I said, they have both angles. And this is a basement apartment, so it has fairly.
Well, like, you don't really feel like you're in the basement here.
No, it's like a half basement apartment.
Yeah,
so
it's beautiful unit. Downtown.
Yeah, this corner for sure has it. But something like this rents for about $750 to $825, depending on condition of units. You know.
So we have the Ontario Real Estate Conference coming up May 26, 27. Why do you think people should go? We're gonna have a lot of like private deals. You're gonna learn from young guys like us, social media. Like, what are you seeing in this industry like changing, like, and why they should come to our conference?
Well, they're doing something differently. I think the important part is growth. How do I grow as a person? And that's by at my stage, I guess, mentoring some people. So I'll meet guys that I can talk to that are starting out. Right. That's one thing. And I'll talk to guys that have more than me, and like what can I change in what I do. And also we'll have a lot of debates about like, do we walk the path of, like I talked about, slumlord it, or do you take good care of your tenant or of your properties, right? That's a good conversation to have. And there'll be if you take that room in half, there'll be half guys that are slumlording it and half guys that are spending the money and time. So those type, you want to be around people that all have the same sort of conversation. You don't want to go somewhere and you're just sitting there and just some guy's barking at you the whole time and you're like, yeah, I think I'm learning something out of this. You know, you learn that data, but you don't use the data. So it's important to talk to people to use the data.
And that's what we want that weekend to be, like all actionable, like in the trenches guys. Like you're in the trenches. People think a landlord, oh, that can't be me. It's right here. You got a house, you got family, a good family life, you got a building. Tenant just gave you money. So
I mean, that's what. This is part of the business, and this is growth. And as I said from the start, you can't screw up rental properties. You can't screw it up. Like, there's nothing you can do to screw it up. This guy, like, if I showed you some of the other spots, I mean, from not this specific building, but like stuff with bed bugs, I'm sure you've seen from Jeff, and you've seen some crappy tenants. You can't screw it up. What can you do? You can get another, if you wanted some money, you can just get another crazy person in there at the same time with all the garbage. You can just get another crazy, stay in here, give me first and last, and then deal with it in 2 months. Right? If that's worst case scenario. You don't have to clean it up and get somebody good and hope this guy doesn't screw it up. No, you can just get some more garbage and put it inside there. And the guy will live there. So how can you screw it up? Like, to think about that, you cannot screw up rental properties. And that's why it's a great business. That's what works for me, because I'm not perfect. I screw things up. So it works for me. That's why I think that this business is really good. If you can get the right deals and, you know, if you're involved in the community, and once that, like, you know, the group, the circle, once you're involved in that circle, then you're always involved in your input. Right? You always hear things from people. So growth, man. Growth, I think that's the reason.
Yeah, great. So make sure you guys are coming out to OREC, because like you're going to be networking with guys like Mike at the conference. And just in general, this is how you got your properties. You networked properly with the right banks, everything. You're going to learn from these people, and this is, you one day could own this as well.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Well, I've never saw it, but yeah, okay, sure.
Not this one. So like I said, that was crazy hearing what those tenants did to Mike, and you know, so close to his family. Again, let me know down in the comment section what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you. That's never happened to me, but you know, that stuff can happen. Let me know, how would you have dealt with it? Would you dealt with like how Mike did it? Would you have been worse? Everybody kind of says that being a landlord, it's all toilets and this and that, but have you ever had a tenant come over and slash your tires? Let me know. Hit me up.